Peter Wolf has never had a hard time filling the house. But tonight, the fans haven't packed the First Parish in Harvard Square for his music, but for his musings. Wolf is here to talk about his new autobiography, Waiting on the Moon.
People would always seem to say, Pete, you know, that's an amazing bunch of stories you got. You should write a book. And I've heard that for decades. You were part of the Blues Society.
Wolf finally got down to work at the urging of his friend, esteemed Elvis biographer, Peter Guralnick.
Peter said to me, you know, Pete, you got these great stories, but you better write them down soon because the people you want to read them, they're not going to be here forever. And I took that to heart.
Let it be said, Peter Wolf has led a life well worth reading about. Even before the worldwide fame of the J. Geils Band, Wolf's life was filled with close encounters of a magical kind.
And so when I slept with Marilyn Monroe, well, the reader will have to figure that one out. And then as a young fella, I happened to meet Eleanor Roosevelt.
Those expecting a standard rock star autobiography might be in for a surprise.
I really did not want to write a typical memoir starting with, you know, parents being born and that arc, you know, going up to when I saw the Beatles and Elvis on Ed Sullivan, it changed my life. I didn't, you know, want to write that book.
Instead, Wolf has assembled what amounts to a collection of short stories, artful, funny, and wildly improbable.
Well, you know, being in Julia Child's house for dinner, having Muddy Waters, you know, hanging out on my house, and just, you know, having him tell me about growing up in the, you know, down in Mississippi and working with Aretha. Here I am, you know, being flown to Detroit to work with the great Queen of Soul. Me? You know, it's like, no way. They got the wrong guy.
Wolf wrote the book himself, no ghostwriter, but organizing hundreds of stories was too much for a solo act.
It was really Grace O'Connor who helped me really give it some kind of order and meaning.
She also pushed Wolf to include the most painful episodes in his famous life.
The two things I didn't want to write about was my marriage to Faye Dunaway and the J. Geils Band. For some reason, I felt that maybe that was too personal and I didn't want this to be a kiss and tell book.
Fortunately, Wolf relented, writing poignantly of the rise and fall of his marriage to Dunaway, with colorful anecdotes about being on the set of Chinatown.
When I started to write about Faye, and one chapter led into another, and then came the Geils Band. I didn't want to get into, you know, oh, the drummer this and the guitar player and all this. I tried to just focus in a very brief way of my love for the band, my involvement with the band, from my point of view, what happened, what caused the end.
Wolf may be at his most vulnerable in telling the story of his ouster from the band he'd fronted for so many years.
Well, it was very painful, the breakup of the Geils Band. And it's like, you know, people who go through a divorce and they don't want a divorce, and someone comes up to you and says, I feel it's time I'm moving on. It was something that took a long, long time.
Wolf considered titling his book A Fan's Notes, and indeed what comes through most clearly from these vignettes is the passion Wolf feels for the music and his reverence for the people who made it.
It seems so long ago.
The book closes with the story of Wolf's months-long effort to convince country music colossus Merle Haggard to sing a duet with him.
In seeking him out, I fulfilled a dream. His voice connects me to a long line that winds its way through music history like a river running through time.
Muddy Waters to Van Morrison, Keith Richard to Little Richard. Peter Wolf may be modest about his own contributions to music, but it's no accident. He's right there with his heroes, borne along in the current of that great creative river running through our times.
And I don't mean it to be, oh, I knew so-and-so, or oh, I got to meet so. I didn't want that at all. That's not what it is. It's the privilege of getting to be in the company of these amazing people that had such a profound effect on me. That's what Waiting on the Moon's all about for me.
And Peter Wolf is like a real-life Zelig or maybe Forrest Gump. He has these personal anecdotes with just about everybody, from an afternoon he spent with Alfred Hitchcock to Sly Stone chasing him out of a building with a bullwhip. Read the book.
That's so cool. And meanwhile, Wolf is still making music with his band Midnight Travelers. And when asked if he's ever thought about calling it quits, he says his heroes, Muddy Waters and Duke Ellington, never did. So why should he?
Why should he? We love that.